I just want to go back to there. Okay. Well, hello there. It is stream time, and okay, that's going cool. So let me just double check that everything's working. Sweet. Okay, so had a little bit of snafu just a minute ago. For some reason, my camera wasn't being detected by my computer. I feel like last time I streamed, I did something bad and blew up my USB bus or something, because I've got the computer, and then I've got the monitor that has a built-in USB hub connected via Thunderbolt, and then I've got a 10-port USB hub connected to that that's powered, and I don't know, like, shit just wasn't working, so I just rebooted, and everything seems to be fixed. So, assuming all is well, today we're building a Pancake from mkultra. This is a fun little silly keyboard. It has pancakes on it. It came with a pancake sticker, and this particular order I got came with, in fact, a pancake fridge magnet. There's also, even more fun, on the back of this case plate here, I think, there's a recipe for pancakes, which, had I thought about this more in advance, I might have gone so far as to buy the ingredients to make that recipe, and then, like, we build the pancake keyboard and then go make some pancakes and eat them, or same time, or I don't know. But it isn't gonna happen. Just gonna build the keyboard. So yeah, but it should be real quick. It's just a bunch of diodes and a controller. It's a simple keyboard. I'm probably going to use these chalk silvers. I bought a bunch of different switches at one point from mkultra. Not really sure what I should buy. Doing some other stuff, whatever. Probably going to use those. I don't know what I'm going to use for caps. I just ordered a bunch of caps, and I feel like I have no caps. But I just literally got like 150 caps or something like that. So we'll see what caps I use on this. It might just end up being capless until I decide to, at some point, like, thing. Yeah, I could do a cooking stream. I have to figure out some sort of, like, body cam thing. Although I might just, silvers are for RGB. That's a good point. I might just point a camera at the grill, because, like, cooking on the grill is kind of what I'm decent at, I guess. I could make like biscuits and gravy and do that on the stove at least, maybe. I don't know. But silver's RGB, good point. And I do have an RGB chalk build I want to do soon, so I'm gonna put the silvers away. Oh. So depending on how I feel, it might get pro reds or it might get blacks. But I also remembered I had my tools upstairs from last night when I was doing this. Some people may say this is cursed. I disagree. This is going to be really hard to pick up audio-wise. But that is a clicky perp. So what I did is I took all the perps that I had and I swapped in the click bar from Chalk Robbins because I want, or my Cornish Zen that I'm getting is purple and the PCB is black, so I'm thinking purple and black, that'd be kind of a good match there. Maybe even purple keycaps. I did buy some purple caps. Kaz, you're going to be unhappy with me, but I have purple caps. Or that might be blue. I've got purple too, I think. Anyways, so go all purple with that build. But I don't like how light these are, and I'm not a huge fan of linears anyways. At least not for chalks. Like, I like Boba Gums, they're great MX linear. So I swapped the click bars from Robbins in. I was gonna swap the springs in too, but I decided I wanted to try, because light switches are all the rage right now. I wanted to see if I could get away with the lightness of the switch or the spring with the added weight from the click bar. So we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I redo all these and I swap in the springs from the Robbins too, so they're basically just Robbins in a different case. But I'm gonna try it without, and I'm just waiting now for the Zen to show up. But one thing I was debating about building today is I've got an RGB, or I've got a corn that I want to build. It's a chalk corn, which I already have a chalk corn, but I'm going to do this one as a wired build, and it's going to have the full bling RGBs and the OLEDs and all that stuff. I just want a chalk version of the big MX chalk that I have, or MX corn that I have. And I was going to put these in there to test it and play around with. But I had I had a vote from the one person I polled who said I should build a pancake. So, going with pancake today. And I don't know. We'll see what switches I end up using. Okay, so let's get rolling on this. So I think all I need is the PCBs here and this bag of bits. And I think, and a controller. Kind of wish I had some white controllers. That'd be cool. Unless, did I get a controller with this? No, I didn't. Okay. The only Salmon 1.5s in existence. So you're going to give me those at some point, right? Look at this thing. This is just beautiful. The hard part is going to be deciding which do I put the recipe down so I can use it, or do I have the pancake itself down. But we'll get to that. Maybe if I get a couple more viewers, I'll do a little poll or something. Awesome. So, got a bunch of diodes. There's a reset switch. I'm guessing that's a power switch. But I'm not making this wireless, so I don't need a power switch. And then it's got a bunch of rows of holes here for the controller. I'm gonna have to look up the build guide for this. But diodes are always a safe bet, so I'm gonna start with diodes. Oh, there, it did come with a power switch, though, it looks like. So, Kaz, what you need to get is one of these. I mean, you don't need to, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. Alright, come out of there. Alright. Put this stuff back in the bag. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. I will, though, Kaz, for your sake. This is what I was doing before I had a diode leg bender to bend my diode legs. So I had my diode leg, or diode, like this, and a pair of tweezers. Let me see if I can't get a little, that's hard to see. But I just kind of grabbed it like, you know, a little bit, you figure out kind of where you want it to be and just bend around. And then you've got nice straight legs. And then it goes right into the hole there. And there you go. It's way fast. But if you do a lot of them, whoops. Okay, sorry, bumped the camera. If you do a lot of them, this is the thing to have. Diode leg bender. What am I looking for? Tools. Yeah. Build one needs to be ugly so that 5 years from now, when you're doing this like professionally or something, or 5 minutes, whatever, I don't know. You can be like, yeah, look what that horrible, awesome awfulness that I used to do. Like I still have my Kyria with the lifted LED pads because I was like, YOLO, I'm not gonna hurt this thing, and then I lifted all 4 pads on LED 1 on one hand, and that was the end of that one. It's still in my box of I will maybe fix this one of these days thing, but yeah, not gonna be today. Okay, so yeah, square hole here, and there's a little line on the board, so we'll just start loading these up. Okay. Now, I don't like to do all of my diodes in one shot because you flip this thing over and it's just a forest of diode legs. It's a real pain in the ass to get your soldering iron in there. Um, so I do a handful at a time. I still haven't figured out like the optimal number or the optimal layout of, can I do like two columns side by side, or do I have to, separate them, something like that. I will say the one downside to the diode leg bender is that to get the little strip off, or the little paper strips off, I leave it in the bender and then pull the strips off, but that bends the legs on the end. And what that means is sometimes these get a little harder to use for controller socketing. It's not a huge deal for me because I have tons of diode legs anyways. And I also tend to just not socket controllers nowadays, but it's still kind of annoying. It's also a good thing to think about. Am I going to socket this controller? I don't think I am. In like normally for Pro Micros, if they're upside down and you use the magnetic connectors like I have, you don't really need them, especially for a board you're not using a lot. Like this is a display piece. I'm not gonna use this board. Sweet, only bridged one and only missed three. It's a good start. I miss one every time, I swear. Because you just get going and forget one, and then it's like, oh, whoops. Anyways, what I was saying about the Pro Micros is I like to, like, if I'm not going to use it very much, I don't really care so much about the connector because it's not going to, get wear and tear. This board, I think the Pro Micro is component up, which makes it a little more risky because it's not at least being sandwiched between the PCB and the board, the controller board. But since it's a board that I'm not going to be using a lot, I'll be fine. Maybe, you know what? Actually, maybe I'll try the spring headers. I'll solder spring headers into this. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. I should do diodes first and then worry about the controller. So here we go. Let's get started on diodes. Oh, and I was doing a build off stream the other day, and I was trying to move my fan, my exhaust fan thing. And I accidentally stuck the tip of my iron through the filter, and it got clipped by the fan, and now it's got this little teeny bend on the end of it. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's actually been really helpful. Like it's enough that I can get it next to a component and get it in there, and it's been actually kind of nice. See, Kaz, I am holding the wire, not the spool. So I wasn't trying to burn you. I promise. Safety glasses. I'm using 620-ish Fahrenheit. Generally, I shoot for 600 and turn it up if I feel like I could use a little more heat. Um, and I just haven't bothered to turn it back down. What do you mean, WTF? I don't know how to change it. I'm sure it's a trivial thing. Can't figure it out. Haven't bothered. I know it can do it because there's a little thing on the soldering iron on the station that says F/C to like indicate what temperature, what units it's reading. But I don't know how to change it. This thing has like two controls, on off and a little dial. Oh yeah, no, I like metric as well, and you know, as part of the process of doing the streaming and stuff like that, I went to be like, you know what, I should just switch to metric for this because it's really easy. Should be really easy for my soldering iron to do it, and it doesn't matter. And then I'm speaking the same language everyone else is, but I couldn't figure it out, and I just haven't bothered. Like I thought it was maybe hold the temperature control button in for a few seconds and it would switch. I don't know. If you're particularly bored, you could look it up for me and then I will change it. I have a Weller WESD 51. You don't have to, by the way. I'm not being like, oh, well, you tell me how to do it. Just more of like, if you're bored, I'm happy to do it. Hello, Lorenzo. It goes well. It is a little warm down here because it's about 85 degrees outside Fahrenheit. But it's cooler than it has been. So that's good. I just watched, I don't even remember who it was, but someone building their Draculad on stream. And now I'm building on stream because that's what all the cool kids are doing today. Was playing some Fallout 4 earlier. It was good times. Part of me wants to figure out how to stream from my PS4 so that I can stream playing video games. But I don't speedrun. I'm not good at games. I just play and hang out. I don't know. Plus things like Fallout, like it's like hours and hours of me watching me manage my inventory because I'm constantly digging through junk bins and stuff like that, and then having to manage inventory because I'm overweight. Oh yeah, the chat is fun. Yeah, 85 is like 30C, something like that. Warm enough that I turned one of the air conditioners on upstairs just to keep the interior temperature a little cooler before bed. Because it was kind of warm. Oh, a little too warm last night when I went to bed. Oof. Where are you at again, Lorenzo? I can never remember. Oh, no. You're in Spain? Or am I just thinking because your name is Cortez? I know I sent stickers to someone in Spain. I just don't remember who it was. And I'm like, oh, he's got a Spanish name. Must be from Spain. Whoops. I need to figure out this mount. For some reason, the quarter 20 mount is just basically free. It's loose. So the slightest little, I breathe wrong at my camera and it moves. And I tried to wrench it down more and tighten it, and then I ripped the the threaded insert out of the bottom of the camera, and I had to super glue it back in. And yeah, it's good times. It's funny, I sent Shawgot some PCBs, the Chalk Mini corn PCBs I got printed up, and some stickers. And he was like, dude, are you ever gonna send that stuff? And I'm like, I'm 95% certain I did. And so I sent more. And then he got the second batch that I sent. And like 2 days ago, he was like, hey, guess what showed up? It's funny because at the same time, I sent some to Germany and I sent some somewhere else. And everybody else got everything. His was going from Portland to DC, and the second shipment was faster than the first one. Although with the second one, I did at least get tracking on it, just because I was like, okay, not that I didn't believe him, but I'm just like, I want to be able to go to the USPS and be like, hey, what the hell is going on? Or at least have some clue what was going on. Because it's just frustrating when it's like, I know I sent that, and you never got it, and I believe you, and I'm not, it's not like it was out thousands of dollars worth of hardware or something that I'm like, no, I need you to prove you don't have it. But it's like, am I crazy? Did I forget to send it? Because that's not unreasonable, but I pretty good memory of sending it, so. And you know what? This thing is gonna go so quickly. I might just build my chalk corn as well, or start on it. It's not like I have anything else to do this afternoon. F to C. Okay. I'm assuming there's more typing going on. And I'm about to get edumacated by Kaz. What link? Might have. I'm not actually looking at the YouTube interface for chat. I'm looking at the one that's embedded into OBS, so let me switch over to the YouTube interface and see if it's in there. I don't see anything. Put user in timeout, add moderator. Participants. Is there a way to like, I'm actually kind of half tempted to oh, I didn't see that there was a live chat versus top chat. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm half tempted to go to Switch or to Twitch, but really like I just don't like the way they do their ad stuff. Because with YouTube, at least, like, okay, you don't want to see ads? Great. YouTube Premium. That's all you have to do. It's a one-time fee, or not one time, but it's a one fee, covers every YouTuber you will watch, every YouTube video you will watch, except for, of course, things like, movies that are, quote, free with ads or whatever. But there's no ads anywhere on YouTube anymore, including my stream, including anyone else's streams, anything like that. Did I kill the stream? Nope. It's weird. With Twitch, it's by the way, you're gonna have to watch a really annoying pre-roll ad, or the streamer is gonna have to inject ads in from time to time on their own or something like that. You're required to, and the only way to get out of it is to subscribe to me specifically. And it's like, I don't want to force people to subscribe to me specifically. Like, if you want to, great. But, I just don't want to, I just hate ads. I hate ads. And YouTube seems to be easier for me as a streamer or easier for the end user to get rid of the ads. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to force someone to pay $5 a month to me specifically so that the 3 streams a month that I do, they don't see ads. And I'm not even out here trying to monetize this. I'm just having fun hanging out on stream. I've thought about just doing Discord hangouts. Just use the hangout channels. But then I have to, someone has to join my Discord to be able to participate, and also there's no, automatic discovery of it, so I can't get like promoted by, I'm not like on the front page of Twitch or on a search for someone looking for keyboard streams or something like that. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's all a thing. No, I don't like ads. I don't want to force someone to watch an ad to watch me build a keyboard on the internet. Like, I don't know. Plus, if I'm doing more video content and not just streaming, which I eventually want to do, um, then my subscribers don't carry over, or my someone who watches me on the stream doesn't necessarily see the uh, the video content that I'm doing, and vice versa. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I mean, I would pay Twitch $5 a month. Like if it's about like, oh well, Twitch has to make money because they're, you know, providing a service to me. It's like, okay, great. I would pay Twitch $5 a month so they don't put ads on my stream. I would totally do that. Like the amount of viewers I get and the amount of times I stream a month, that $5 a month will plenty cover their costs. I do really like that Twitch has like a whole roadmap for how to get to partner and stuff like that, though. That is actually really freaking cool of them to do that. Um, because it gives you stuff to focus on. It's like, okay, great. I am at this point in my Twitch career. I need more followers, or I need more subscribers, or I need more whatever, you know? You can have little campaigns for certain things, or I need to stream more to get promoted to next thing. And I would love to hear if people are like, no, I hate that. It's really terrible, blah, 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 because it's just, to me as an outsider, it seems really cool, but I am, an outsider. What's Twitch Turbo? If you're telling me there's a monthly fee option, that means that you don't see ads on Twitch. I will hop right back over to Twitch. Because like Twitch, there's a lot I like about it, you know. Also, Kaz, can you send me that link to the Fahrenheit to Celsius thing on, or either post it in the channel again if you can, which I would hope you can, or send it to me on Discord, please, if you still have it up. If you don't, I'll dig it out later. You've inspired me. I must do this. Maybe not inspired isn't the word. You've shamed me into doing it. Okay. I will look into that. 'Cause like I said, I'm not I'm just here to screw around and build stuff. But I do think there's still like I still think the whole video content versus streaming content split is something that would be hard to do if I switched back to Twitch. Because I know they have like VODs, video on demand, but I think that's more for like, oh, well, we recorded your stream and now people can watch it back later versus, it's I created this video and edited it and did all this stuff and posted it for people to watch as a video. Anyways, this board has a lot of diodes. Whoops. Okay. By the way, Kaz, I don't know if you've ever considered it, but you have an awesome voice that I think would sound good on radio. And with your knowledge of music and stuff like that, I think you could be a good radio DJ. Just saying. Even if it's like local indie station or something like that, it's something to get exposure to. Turn it off, adjust the temperature fully clockwise, put lockout pencil to ESD symbol on the front. The hell is a lockout pencil? Okay, since it involves me turning the iron off, I will wait until I'm done with this. But then we will do adventures in metric sitting. Okay, well, good that I'm at least getting validation that I'm not crazy, that I think you have a good voice for radio. You have a good face for radio, too. Has anybody ever told you that? Sorry. I remember the first time I heard the face for radio thing and understood what it meant, and it just cracked me up. Like, oh, I see what you're saying, because you can't see them on the radio, so they have a good face for it, because then you don't have to see them. You're calling them ugly. I think I was like 10 when I figured it out. You know what? Actually, this might be the lockout or the lockout pencil. This might actually be the lockout pencil because it is a magnet on a stick. I always assumed it was literally just for picking up magnetic components and stuff like that, which is what I use it for. Uh, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. That's hilarious. Because, see, it's like, oh, look, I have all these diode legs all over the desk. I need to pick them up and, bye, Lorenzo. I need to pick them up and, like, whatever. Oh, how am I going to do this without getting stabbing in my. Oh, I just pick them up with a magnet. Great. See, so I've got 4 more diodes to put in. Okay, that's all the diodes done. I'm guessing the controller's no, because the controller covers up a couple of switches. Maybe. Alright, let me pull up the build guide. I'm assuming there is one. Safari. Let's see, a little window capture. Damn, you are on top of things. Soldered the Pro Micro. Oh yeah, I should flash this before I solder it on too. So let me get that going. Let me fix this. This is check out kitchen local mods. Okay, util Docker. So this is the Pancake. Keyboards, Pancake. Nope. Okay. Find keyboards dash name. All right, so that's going. And take a sip of water. And then we're going to add another window here. Window capture. Add a new source. Actually, Safari. Whoops. Why did... Weird. Okay, whatever. So you can see the Safari window. So this, I'm actually a little frustrated. This guide is kind of sparse. There's no pictures. It doesn't say, like, there's a whole bunch of what look like could be controller pins on this board. There's no labels. I don't know when, where, how, like... Oh, you know what? I bet it is. Because this is meant to work with the blue fruit or something too. So that's probably what the other set of pins are. So I bet you it's like this. I'm going to guess that. But since it's not labeled, and I don't know for sure, I'm going to just look at the YouTube video. All right. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That is absolutely not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Whoops. Okay, let's go back. feather, that is. Add the diodes, solder them in. Well, see, this guy's got a diode like bender. That one's even longer. Holy crap. That's a huge diode like bender. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 20 diodes at a time. That's amazing. Whoops. How does Imager work? Okay. So, blah, 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 blah. Controller goes there. Okay. That's what I thought. Cool. I will be right back. I said I was going to do spring headers. I'm not going to do spring headers. It's fine. Okay, so let me... delete? No. Oh wait, I think I see what happened. Okay. This is actually... one of these days I'm going to figure out... well, that didn't work either. One of these days I'm going to figure out this stuff enough. OBS. Let's go back to bench only. Oops. Oh. Nope. Don't know why that's not working. Whoops, no, no, no. Okay. That took way more work than it should have. Anyways, what was happening is I had two windows up in the for an overlay or something, and neither of them was showing up, and so okay, so no rule to make Spaceman Pancake default. Did I spell it wrong? No. And I've done... So I've done them with a slash before. Maybe there just isn't a default. Ah, there doesn't appear to... Oh, wait, hang on. Key maps has a default. Let's just do this. See what happens. Okay, well, while that's going, I'm going to do one thing that I know that I can do safely, and that's solder on these headers. Because it doesn't really matter that much how close the plastic bit gets to the board, because I'm going to remove the plastic bit, so it just needs the pins to be in there. Okay. So I'm just going back over these because I realize they're a little light on solder. They're probably fine, but no reason not to put a little more on. Okay, well, the firmware's still not building. I may just have to do that on my Raspberry Pi for some reason. Okay. So one thing I need to make absolutely certain of is not to solder the controller before I get that switch in place. And I'm gonna bet that I forget to do that. I'm gonna try real hard to be like, no, no, no. But knowing myself, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's ready to go. Okay. Now I need to figure out the firmware thing. Ah. What? Well, I did find this build log. Well, shit. I did find this build log that has a bunch of pictures. And those pictures are exactly what I needed. So that's fine. Not cutting that. No, I'm not gonna socket it. And yeah, it is begging for wireless, but I have a single nice nano left. It is already slated for a build. I have a bunch of NRF micro PCBs, but none of the parts to build it. One of these days I will do that. But this is just getting a Pro Micro. Make spaceman slash pancake default. Okay, since this is building on a Raspberry Pi, it's potentially a lot slower, but since it's not building it in Docker, it might not be as slow. And what the hell? Oh, shell away. Now, really, what you need to do is get ZMK to work on Pro Micros, and then I'll just run ZMK on everything. So, how about you do that? Why is this not working? Okay, I don't know why that's not working, but guess what? You know it will work. Since there's no OLEDs, no LEDs, no nothing, this should work just fine. Oh, that's the thing. So I need, okay. So we're not building this on the Pi, we're back on the Mac. Pancake slash What was that again? Pro Micro. Okay. There. There. That should work. Okay. See, I almost did it. Because I wasn't even going to put the controller on just yet, but I was going to pull the little black tabs off. Because I'm like, okay, well, while this is going, I can work on that. But I almost took the tape off, which would have meant that when I did finally go to put the controller on, after this is done, before I put the switches on, I would have forgotten. So you know what? I'm gonna do the switches right now. All right. So Pro Mic, or do I want Pro Reds or do I want blacks? I think we're going Pro Reds. And hopefully these fit as snugly as the Zaphod switches footprints. Oh, yeah. Because then I can put all the switches in. Okay, let me get back to where I can see things. Okay. Then I can put all the switches in one go and flip it over and not have them all come out. I'm really, really hoping that the Aho Kore has the same feature. I think this is an important feature in any kind of soldered switches board. Hey, it's compiling. Look at that. I figured out the right incantation and the right goat to sacrifice. By the way, Pete, I am still really enjoying the Zaphod. The 4-key combo for enter on the right hand can be a little frustrating at times, but for the most part, it's working great. I do want to move it down to a 2-key. I'll probably use these two fingers, the middle and pinky, or middle and ring, just to make it a little lighter. But when I switched back to using this other board here, I say switch back. So my basement computer right now has my MX Reviung on it, which still has my 3x6 layout. But I caught myself trying to use those combos. So it's already ingrained into my brain now to use that 4-key enter combo. I'm still struggling a little bit with layers because they moved slightly the thumb location because I had to swap the thumbs back and forth, but I left the layers where they were. So like backspace used to be layer 1 or layer 2, and now it's layer 1, so that gets confusing at times. But that's fine. It's something I'll get used to. And I still haven't charged it, like other than when I first was programming it and stuff like that. It hasn't been charged. And at least according to the display, it says it's got a full battery. I haven't looked to see what iOS thinks, because I just now thought about that. But, yeah. And that's with a I think it's 120 milliamp hour battery. Just a cheap one. So yeah, it's been great. Really enjoying it. Okay, so we have a firmware. As soon as I get all these switches in, which, wow, I just barely have enough. But as soon as I get all these switches in, I will switch back over real quick, flash the controller, and then solder all the switches. Okay. Okay. Stay visible. Come on. Why is it not showing up in, Oh. Okay, let me see. So I think this might be, because this cable is plugged into my hub. That hub might be dead. Get another Pro Micro. Take a look. See, I mean, the fact that it's getting power at least, but it's not showing up in QMK Toolbox. Okay, let me try something different. I'm going to take this cable and plug it right into the Mac. Okay, yeah, so it is something with that hub. I don't know what's going on. That sucks, because that's like a reputable brand USB hub. I don't know what I did to it, but it's borked. Alright, so controllers flash, just need to solder the switches. And yes, I am going to take the tape off, but I'm going to promptly wrap it around the controller. And then I'm going to solder the switch under the controller here. And I'm going to put the lid on these. Now, see, not getting sockets should be considered a good thing by the controller because that means I have faith in it that it's not going to break on me. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this on here permanently such that if something, or such that it's impossible, or not impossible, very difficult, huge pain in the ass for me to swap this out. Which means you better not break. But I'm trusting that you're not going to. So I'm going to solder you on permanently. Whereas if I socket it, it's like saying, I've already written you off, you're going to break. I'm spending money and some amount of extra time. Okay, let me just not burn that diode. My the wire from my soldering iron was getting caught on my box cutter. My box cutter had its blade extended, and I was like, this is gonna end in tears. There's gonna be a box cutter falling on my foot with a blade out, and I'm gonna be in the hospital and all this stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let me just put the blade away and throw the box cutter farther away, and then it's fine. So something completely weird. I was thinking just now when I was saying, I'm going to be in the hospital, and then I'm going to forget that my soldering iron is on, and I'm going to come home and my house is going to be burning down. Well, fun story. I woke up this morning at about 4:30 or 5 a.m. to what I could swear was someone burning a campfire right next to my head. Like a campfire. Like it was just straight up like someone was burning a campfire right next to my head. And I'm like strong enough that I had to close the window because it was coming from outside. Uh, but so I got concerned because when you smell fire like that, it's like, okay, well, what the hell? Like, it's one thing to, I live in a city, so people have fireplaces, and every now and then you smell someone's fireplace. It's been in the 80s, 90s. You may know that last weekend, between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we had 3 days in a row of record-breaking heat, like 116 degrees outside. So it's kind of a weird time to be having a fire in your fireplace. But okay, okay. And maybe if you've got like an outdoor fire pit thing, nobody really has those except for like they have the little portable metal ones. Um, but one, like, we're under a burn ban right now, so you're not even supposed to be doing those. But that doesn't stop anybody because obviously we have fireworks going off and stuff too. But two, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Who the hell is doing that at 5 in the morning? Like maybe if you've been up all night, but it's not like I've heard a party or like it's just weird. So I'm like, shit, something is burning and it's nearby. So I get up and throw some clothes on and go wander around a little bit, and I can kind of see that it's a little gray in the sky. But I'm not sure if that's just a little bit of fog or what's going on. I don't see anything. I don't really smell that much. Whatever. I don't hear fire alarms. I don't hear fire sirens or anything like that. So I go back to bed. But I'm in bed and it's still like someone's got a campfire going next to my head. So I close the window, turn my air filter on more, and then I'm like, okay, something's burning nearby. What's burning? Let me pull up Twitter, look, whatever. So apparently, like 2 or 3 miles from where I live, two big ass apartment buildings just completely burned to the ground this morning. Like, just gone. And it was a 4 alarm fire, huge fire, ridiculous. But it's like 3 miles away, and it smelled like they were burning a campfire next to my head. That's how thick the smoke was from it. It just blew my mind. I really hope everyone got out okay. But I saw where it was, and I was like, wow, I've been past that place a bunch of times on my bike because my therapist used to be right over by there. So I'd go over there once a week. I'd ride through that intersection where those buildings are. There's just no buildings there anymore. It's just mind blowing. But for it to be that strong You know, we had it really bad last year with the fires, but that was like half of the state being on fire. You know, like most of the forests around the area were on fire. So that's one thing. This is just a couple of buildings. I mean, they're big buildings and it was a big fire, but it's just like, damn. It's just crazy. I am fortunate that I have never had fire take any of my stuff or the stuff of anybody I know or anything like that, because that's just shitty. Like, or like those people in Florida with the collapsed building. Like, even the people in the sections that aren't collapsed, like, they're tearing that building down the rest of the way down today. What about all their shit that's in there? Like, have they actually been able to go back in there? Would they want to go back in there? Like, it's just suddenly everything you have is gone. And it's just, I don't know. It's weird. Oh, I see. So this, I could have done a 2U switch instead of two 1Us. Didn't even think about that, but that's fine because I want a big grid anyways. Because I don't think I have 2U caps. I have one for my Revion. Although I guess I have a couple in the rejects bag, the band of rejects. Oh yeah, no, that condo collapse is messed up. Like 150 people are still missing. It's really bad. The video of it is insane. And then there's like video from like 10 minutes before it collapses of water pouring down into the parking garage. Like it's just, it's messed up. Fortunately, my condo building is all one floor. It's not concrete. It's not. There's no swimming pool. There's no parking garage. There's none of that stuff. So it's very unlikely that anything will happen to this building except for an earthquake. In which case, whoops. What do you mean? No, I think Louisiana is more swampy than Florida. Like Louisiana is legitimately sinking. Florida is just one big place that I don't even really feel like ever going to. Although I do kind of want to go to Miami. I've heard good things about Miami. Just want to avoid spring break or anything like that because, ugh. Whoops. Uh, I don't know what GH repo clone is, but can you paste your output and stuff into like a gist? Okay, why is this one being so difficult? The other one was a lot easier. Yeah, what's really scary to me is like the HOA, like who was running it, who was managing, all that stuff. Like I'm the president of my HOA. I would be devastated if something like that happened to my building. And obviously I'm sure they are too, but it's just like, how much did they know or how much discussion had already happened, where people was the HOA board being like, no, 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 like we need to do some major repairs, and people like, I don't want to spend that kind of money, or like it's gonna be as we say a lot in the computering industry, that will make, or that sounds like the start of a very interesting post-mortem. It'll be real interesting to see the report on how everything went down and the events that led up to it and all that stuff. Because for sure. I mean, the president flew down there to talk with survivors and stuff. Like, there's going to be an investigation, probably some people going to jail or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. It's just terrifying to me, though. It's like, I would not want that. Yeah, no worries, Kaz. Also, if you're doing this on Windows command line or something, I have no clue. But I will try. Oh, my sticker from Germ is gone. Okay, so before I solder the controller on, it needs to go this way. And all of the switches are soldered, all of the diodes, anything that goes under the controller is soldered. It's good. And slap this thing on here. Whoops. I need to figure out a better solution for shielding my lights. I just have some cardboard taped to them, but the tape keeps coming off because the adhesive is melting because the lights are warm. I have the shield on there so that this is all lit up, but it's not directly into my eyes. Because I don't need my eyes to be lit up, and these lights are very bright. It's like, what, 300 LEDs in each one of these lights or something like that? They're ridiculous. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I just banged that against my light. All right, Marcus. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I mean, I know there's probably like commercial solutions to the shielding thing that would also reflect the light that I'm blocking out of my eyes down onto the thing. I don't know. I don't want to spend a ton of money on this. Just some janked together, cut up cardboard and gaffer's tape is fine. Okay. Time again for safety glasses, especially with these because they are take a lot more force to cut. Now these aren't magnetic. All right, let's plug this in and see if it works. Oops. Yeah, something works. All right, let's do test keyboard. Okay, well, there are a couple of keys that aren't working, but I don't know if it's because they're not working or because they're just not mapped to anything that QMK is registering. So I'm going to assume they're working and move forward because I can fix them later if they're not real easily. And yeah, so now the question, the ultimate question, the most important question: recipe or pancake? And I think I'm gonna go with the pancake. Because if I want the recipe, I can always get the recipe. Like off the internet. But that's just a cool logo. Just I like it. So I think I'm going with just the pancake. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong and it's okay to be wrong. Oh, I forgot one thing. One component. The reset switch. The all important reset switch. Okay. So I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to do it RGB style, where I tack one of the corners. Okay. Okay, turn that off, turn the fan off, because we're done with soldering. What kind of heads do we have here? Phillips. Perfect. Okay. All right. Ah. Now for the hard part. Trying to do this on camera without hitting the camera with my hand or the tool. Okay. This is definitely where a camera with a longer lens farther away would be very handy. Because then the camera isn't quite so in my face. Because, like, my pinky is on this board here, and that's the camera. Like, someday, perhaps. Not today. Cool. That's the board. Oh, wait. Nope. There's a couple more things. Need our good old-fashioned bump-ons. But actually, before I do that even, I'm going to put some of this stuff away. There we go. So, yeah. One of these is shorter than the others. That's weird. I wonder if I just had an extra one laying on my desk and I grabbed it by accident or what. But that is definitely shorter than the other ones are. Let's see. Okay. Okay, that works. Now for the fun part. There we go. Did I miss something? Is this supposed to be curved, like, in the middle or something like that? Because This one is also too short. I mean, I get that, you know, tolerances and stuff like that, but these are way off. If that's a mistake or something like that, they're way, way off. And also, I did have a bunch of extras. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, now it's not wobbly. Cool. I'm going to throw some caps on this. Oh, there's a homing cap. I was like, I knew I ordered some, but I don't know where they are. Well, I found them. Or at least one of them. Find the other homing cap. There we go. Perfect. All right, there you have it. That is Pancake keyboard. Looks delicious. What I think is kind of funny is with the case, with the plate and everything. I think this is as tall, if not taller, than my Plank Easy. So it's funny. It's like low profile switches, but it's like super tall. Could probably do with some shorter standoffs here, but that's fine because this also means that I don't know if you can see it very easily, but you can kind of, if you had to, you could read the recipe without taking the keyboard apart, which is important. I mean, that is definitely an important feature of a keyboard that has a recipe for food on it, is that you'd be able to read the recipe. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to clean up a little bit here, and then yeah, I think the next stream I'm going to do is I've got a Korn V3 chalk, PCBs and all that stuff. The idea with it is I have. Oh, I don't have it down here. So I have a chalk Korn, like a chalk V1 Korn, but it's wireless. It's in the Korn LP case, all that good stuff. It's great. I love it. But I also have an MX Korn, and this has all the bells and whistles. This has OLED, this has LED, underglow, and backlighting, and all that stuff. I don't want to put that on a wireless board because it just kills the battery. But I do really like how this looks and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build one with the good RGBs and all that good stuff, but a chalk one. And so I've got all the stuff to do that. And I think I might stream that tomorrow. That's going to take a while because if it's anything like this, and it is, it's 300 surface mount pads. Because there's 4 for each LED. There's 42, I think there were 56 LEDs total. Then you've got 42 diodes. And then, and I don't even think that's counting the sockets. I don't really count Kale sockets as surface mount, even though technically they are, just because they're not difficult surface mount. I don't know. They're technically surface mount. I don't count them. But yeah, there's like 300 surface mount pads on this thing. So that's a lot of work. So I might get an early start tomorrow on that, maybe like 11 Pacific. Because that'll take me most of the day probably to build that. But then what I can do is figure out port my key map from my Zaphod back to QMK, so I can run it on QMK boards. And then put the chalk or the perps, the clicky perps that I just made into there. See how they work. See how I like them. Because it's a hot swap board, so I can take the switches out, mess around with them, put them back in, whatever. use that for a couple days, a couple weeks, I don't know, something, and just go from there. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have a, like, proper full on all the features chalk corn. So that's what I'm going to build, and I think I'll build that tomorrow. Because it's either that or I have so many keyboards to build. I need to do an inventory of my keyboard stuff, but I have, at the very least, I have that, and I have I have my, so I have an MX Revion right here, and I love it. Seriously, probably my favorite keyboard that I own right now. Especially because I have the Boba U4 switches on here, which are just amazing. But this is not built with a nice Nano, and I soldered the controller, so being me, I bought another one that I'm going to make with a nice Nano. So when I was saying earlier that, like, I have one nice Nano left and it's already spoken for, it's spoken for the replacement for this. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I have enough Boba U4s to build a second one, but we'll see. But I'm going to, I have the chalk corn and the MX Revion at least both ready to go. But that's going to be a plateless and caseless build, so just the PCBs with the thing. I don't know. We'll see. Play around with stuff. But that's it. Pancake good. And I will, I'm going to schedule another stream as soon as I get back upstairs. Because I've got some things to build. And also my Ahocore. I can never remember what it is. That should arrive Tuesday. It's in Portland. It's probably at my local post office. But given that it's Sunday and then tomorrow is observed Independence Day, there's no mail delivery until Tuesday, so it'll come Tuesday. And that's, as soon as I get that, I'll probably stream it on Wednesday because I don't know what time I'll get it. The mail tends to come either first thing in the morning or late in the afternoon. I think it kind of alternates, like they do the route backward or something like that. But I don't want to book a build for something I don't already have in my hand. Especially for something that's so, at least for me, such a anticipated build. But anyways, I'm done rambling. I'm going to take off. Thanks for hanging out and sticking around, swinging by, dropping by. I'll have some more streams this week, and looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out, and have a great 4th if you're in the US. Have a great 4th if you're not in the US, but in the US at least it means something.